Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Thought I would talk about something that's a little bit more personal now. And since we're wearing shorts right now, you can see the remnants of some really bad eczema I had when I was a teenager. And one night I had pushed my studies a little bit further than I should have. And in my sleep deprived state, I decided it would be a good idea to scratch as hard as I can. I had been up 36 hours in a row. The same kind of problem that I now grapple with. I'm getting ready for a conference, which is what prompted me to record this video to remind myself what could go wrong if I push myself too far. In my sleep deprived mind, I decided it would be a good idea to, I had long fingernails at the time, take both hands and scratch as hard as I can. Long story short, I drew blood, and you can still see the parallel lines from where I scratched, even though that was over 2 decades ago. And I ended up in our bathtub. I lived with my parents at the time, obviously. We had a jacuzzi, and I ended up in there for almost 2 days and 48 hours in a row, if you can believe it, before my dad insisted we go to the doctor. And this is the scar that it left. But the scar it left wasn't just physical. I also lost a lot of my social connectivity after being sick for a good better part of a year. To give you an idea how sick I was, I had a college professor who was very insistent. He would not allow anybody to make up a midterm exam, a final exam. You do whatever you need to do to get to that midterm. He was a big stickler to that, and so I was really nervous about that. And my nervousness probably caused me to get even more sick on the day of the midterm, and I missed it. And I couldn't bear to hear what the professor was going to say. But I was in the jacuzzi. My mom brought me the phone so I could call the professor. And so, long story short, he already knew that I had been spending a lot of time scratching and scratching away in the classroom. And he could hear the jacuzzi running, probably, on the phone. And he, in his entire career, he probably made one exception for me. And so even then, I went there really sick. And it's I learned from that experience to never push myself too hard. I used to push myself way too hard. I was working on a problem called Ramsey theory. I so badly wanted to do that for my PhD work. There wasn't any money in it, obviously, but I ended up studying in a related field called computational social choice theory. But I pushed the Ramsey theory too hard. I still live with the battle scars of it. And one time, I almost lost a girlfriend over this. She thought this was some kind of disease. And I'd taken my clothes off, and that was the first thing she saw. And I got to talk to her about some battle scars that I had. I met her through the PhD program, so she understood. But it was an interesting explanation. I very seldom, this is the first time, believe it or not, I've openly talked about it. Anyway, a big reminder of what can happen if I push that Scrabble game too far again. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.